Hey everyone. And you didn't think that you'd be getting rid of me that quickly, right? I mean, we had a lot of fun at reInvent, and now reInvent's over. So let's talk about things that I kind of think through in terms of my first experience at reInvent. And just from a highlight and review of the past couple of days, everyone says bring comfortable shoes to almost every conference. And this one is it's pretty much the one that says bring comfortable shoes. You will be walking probably, if not, 1.5 times as much than 2 times as much as you have in other areas. I personally didn't walk as much as other people. I got maybe around 18,000, 20,000 steps. However, there were people that made over like 40, 50,000 steps. There's a lot of different things to do, a lot of different walking that you can, a lot of different places to walk to that you would do as well. So it's a lot to say for reInvent. The other thing to keep in mind, and just the transportation is there, the shuttles are running. Be sure to use that. Uber is always a great option. And then I personally took a lot of cough drops because for every happy hour, there was a lot of yelling and screaming. That's not really something that I like to do. So I try to not do it as much as possible, but there are definitely times when you have to. And that's what I did. So cough drops really help that. Definitely popping them in the morning kind of help coat the throat, help heal, help get you back after it. And I used the ones that I had, which I thought I had them over here, but I guess I don't. But I used the Hall's Defense that has an extra amount of vitamin C to try to just boost up that immune system as I'm, around all these different people and walking around and being tired. You just want to try to do what you can to protect yourself. So that's what I would say. Definitely, point two is the cough drops. Staying hydrated is a definite challenge. They AWS reInvent this year did a great job of providing water bottles, and these are actually really nice little water bottles. They're nothing incredible in terms of the design. They're very basic, but I think that's what makes them very good. They're very easy to hold. They have a very wide lip on the end of it, so very easy to fill, very easy to drink, and just maintaining that hydration while you're at reInvent was a very big deal. Very definitely helped us be able to do those things. Another thing that I want to touch on specifically for this was replay. So we went to replay last night. It was probably one of the best orchestrated events to get to. I've heard of horror stories of waiting on shuttle buses for hours, trying to get to the location that takes hours. That the event that only has a couple of hours to run. So definitely it was not like that. It took us about 15, 20 minutes to get from point A to point B. So it was perfect. Coming back, it took a little bit longer just because we were in one of the more, I wouldn't say budget hotels, but friendlier hotels in terms of price. So there was a lot of people that were still in that same area. And so there was a long line for us to get back into the shuttle and get back to the hotel. So that's something to keep in mind there as well. Replay was I am 39 years old, so I have two daughters, and I've starting to understand that I am not a music person. I thought I was, back in the 90s, early 2000s, that was my jam. I knew those songs. Now, when I come out and then they say, "Oh, well, these are the people that are going to be performing," and I know none of them. I don't even know what like I've never been to a rave party or had a DJ or something like that. So my perspective is probably not the average reInvent perspective on replay, but I will say the event was awesome. The dodgeball was hilarious and a lot of fun just to sit and watch. Uh, they did a really good job there. They also had this area in the middle where if you didn't want to go to either of the stages and you didn't want to have to see the lights and the presentation of the performers, which by the way was absolutely phenomenal. It was pretty impressive, the amount of technology that they had on display um, for the performers. There was this area in the middle where you could just put on headphones and listen to the music that you wanted to listen to. And if you didn't want to listen to the music, you could just find a nice couch and sit down and talk. Me and a couple of friends, we just sat in a couch and just talked about tech and talked about what we're doing and what we're playing around with and life and other things. And I thought that was really a great addition, something that really kind of puts reInvent apart from, everyone just going to a concert and partying on. Another thing I wanted to bring up was food. They did a really good job of having multiple different areas for different types of food that you want to get, as well as there being two major locations. So one on one side and one on the other where you could go get food. So they did a really good job there. I mean, out of all that, I would say replay was just fantastic. It was a lot of fun. Even though I'm not, a music person, I did really enjoy it. So overall thoughts on reInvent are very positive. I had a fantastic time. I met with a number of different, vendors. I met with a bunch of customers, and I met, with a lot of the people from the community that I know and have spoken to before, which, by the way, it would be great if your reInvent pass had your Twitter handle on it. And regardless of what you think about with Twitter, or, pick a different social media platform if you want to. But we as a community talk to each other on these platforms. So, myself on Twitter, I'm V Nathan Bennett. And I know a lot of other people that have Twitter accounts, right? There's Chris has Mistwire, right? He's pretty well known out there. But if you don't recognize people because maybe their picture isn't their face, like say if Chris's picture wasn't his face, you wouldn't know what he looked like. You wouldn't be able to find him. And you'd be trying to find him and try to see, who is this person. Luckily, Chris is very, very recognizable. So there's a lot to say to walking around with 50,000 people, and there may be someone that you've followed and spoken with a number of times and you just don't know. And I don't, putting it on the pass is just one way. There's got to be a better way to just connect people at these events. I felt like VMware actually does a better job of that because the handles on the passes and reInvent. And again, this is my first time. So if I missed it, feel free to call out on the comments and tell me I missed it. But yeah, it's something that just make things a lot easier for reInvent. Outside of that, the chalk talks, I would definitely bring that up as a big deal. I really enjoyed the chalk talks. The technology behind them in order to show whiteboarding to a larger group was just fantastic. And they did a really good job of diving a little bit deeper into the products, right? A lot of times, we in the community and builders, we play around with all the different products, and then, the products that we don't play with, we kind of just know what they do, right? These guys and girls and folks in the chalk talks, they really just dive into, okay, well, this is what it is. What are the problems you think could occur from it? And you start from there, and then you grow from there into different areas. And that's what I thought was just fantastic, was because it automatically brought the engagement with the audience. And those are just phenomenal. So if you go to reInvent, check out the chalk talks. The workshops are always really a good idea, especially if you're able to get in early, sign up for a workshop, find something that you don't play around with very often and hop into that. There are user labs as well that you can try to do those. The jam sessions, I've already talked about those. Those are really cool. I wasn't able to take place of any of these just because of a lot of the other things that I was doing while I was there. But, if I was able to do a better job getting in earlier and setting these things up in the scheduler. I definitely would have, because they're fantastic opportunities to take advantage of. So yeah, so that's my take on all the things reInvent 2022. And I hope this has helped some people. And hopefully I'll be able to see some folks in reInvent 2023. Y'all take care.